In the town of Capernaum, Jesus was teaching inside a house, and so many people came that there was no room left at all. Jesus, with his kind and gentle face, spoke about God's love while the crowd pressed close to hear every single word. People filled the whole house and spilled out the doorway, all eager to listen to the wonderful things Jesus was saying. Now in that same town there lived a man who was paralyzed, unable to walk or even to move his own legs. This poor man had 4 good friends who loved him dearly and wanted more than anything to help him get well again. They had heard that Jesus could heal the sick, so they gently placed their friend upon a sturdy sleeping mat. Together the 4 friends carried him through the streets, hurrying toward the crowded house where Jesus was teaching that day. But when they arrived, they found the doorway completely blocked by the huge crowd of people gathered inside the house. There was simply no way at all to carry their dear friend through such a thick and tightly pressing crowd. The 4 friends did not give up hope. Instead, they came up with a bold and clever idea to reach Jesus. They carried their friend up the outside stairs, all the way to the flat rooftop of the crowded house. Carefully, they began to dig and open a hole right through the roof, directly above where Jesus was standing. Piece by piece, they removed the roof, until at last there was an opening large enough for their friend to fit through. Then, using strong ropes, they gently lowered the paralyzed man on his mat down into the room below them. The whole crowd inside watched in amazement as the man came down slowly, right in front of Jesus. When Jesus saw the great faith of the man and his 4 determined friends, he was deeply and warmly moved. Jesus looked with great kindness at the paralyzed man lying helpless on the mat before him. "My son," Jesus said to him warmly, "take heart, for your sins are all forgiven." Now some teachers of the law were sitting nearby, and they did not like what they had just heard him say. "Who can forgive sins but God alone?" they thought quietly to themselves, with deep frowns of doubt. But Jesus knew exactly what they were thinking in their hearts, and he calmly turned to face them. "Why are you thinking such things in your hearts?" he asked them gently, but with quiet and certain authority. "Which is easier," he asked, "to say your sins are forgiven, or to say get up and walk?" "But so that you may know I have authority on earth," Jesus said. "Now watch closely what happens next." Then Jesus turned back to the paralyzed man, and he spoke to him with gentle power and great love. "I say to you, get up, take up your mat, and go home to your family." At once, the man felt warm strength flow back into his legs for the very first time in years. Slowly he stood up, hardly able to believe that he could truly stand on his own 2 feet. He rolled up the very mat that he had been carried in on and held it up in his arms. Then, right in front of everyone there, the healed man walked straight out of the house on his own. The whole crowd was completely amazed, and they praised God together with loud shouts of pure joy. "We have never in all our lives seen anything like this," they said in wonder and delight. On another day, Jesus was leaving the city of Jericho with a very large crowd of people following him. Beside the dusty road sat a blind beggar named Bartimaeus, who could not see anything at all around him. Day after day he sat there in darkness, quietly asking the passers-by for a few coins to help him live. When Bartimaeus heard that Jesus of Nazareth was passing by, a great hope suddenly rose up within his heart. "Jesus, Son of David," he cried out loudly with all his might, "please have mercy on me." Many people in the crowd told him to be quiet, but Bartimaeus only shouted all the louder. "Jesus, Son of David," he called out yet again, "please, have mercy upon me." Then Jesus stopped walking, and he told the people to call the blind man over to come to him. "Cheer up," they said to Bartimaeus, "get on your feet, for Jesus himself is now calling for you." Bartimaeus threw off his old cloak, jumped up, and came to Jesus as fast as he possibly could. "What is it that you want me to do for you?" Jesus asked him kindly and very gently. "Rabbi," said Bartimaeus, "more than anything else in the world, I want to be able to see again." "Then go on your way," said Jesus, "for your faith has healed you and made you completely well." Immediately, Bartimaeus could see. The darkness melted away, and the whole world lit up brightly before him. The very first thing his new eyes beheld was the kind and gentle smiling face of Jesus. Overjoyed beyond words, Bartimaeus followed Jesus down the road, praising God with all of his heart. Everyone who saw it happen gave glory and heartfelt thanks to God for the wonderful miracle. In these wonderful ways, Jesus showed his deep and tender compassion for everyone who was hurting. He healed their broken bodies, he forgave their sins, and he gave them all hope and a brand new life. And he reminds us that with faith in him, no one is ever beyond his loving and healing care.